There are two concepts which are being mentioned in your question. One is the mechanical grounding concept, and the second one is the telos amplification. So mechanical grounding is more, as it is said in its in the explanation, it's a mechanical use which is putting the earth to the ground. And the second concept, telos, is an electronic concept because it's our amplification technology. So two things which are core to the construction of the Goldmund products.
Correct. What actually is really important for us is to make some products that are neutral in terms of acoustic and can be reproduced the sound as much as close as the reality that we can experience when we go to the live concerts. And so we try to avoid any noise that are perturbing the sound. That's why we develop and we implement the mechanical grounding, the telos amplification, and so on.
Actually, Goldmund has made a choice a long time ago to choose the accuracy, the transparency, the neutrality. So coloration is not what we follow, it's a way of doing things, and we defend this idea, and we've been defending it now for more than 40 years.
One of the reasons that we use aluminium, for example, is to avoid coloration in the sound. So it has the hardness and the weight of the mechanic aluminium avoid to pass any coloration into the sound. It's one of the reasons, and it's also the fact that this idea is implemented in our old design. When we use the mechanical grounding, as we explained before, is one important part of our design.
So we want to reach neutrality for the accuracy. We don't want to add anything that is not at the origin of the recording. So our speakers, our material should be kind of invisible and just convey the right message, the right signal, and that's it.
It's true that the telos 5500 was already powerful and very crazy amplifier. With the telos 8800 we have pushed the boundary even higher. We try to increase and make the unit even better in terms of acoustic, in terms of heat dissipation, in terms of power. We have changed the mechanical body of the unit. We have changed the design without visible screw, for example. We have increased the size of the heatsink. In terms of acoustic and electronic, we have increased the power transformer. We have increased the capacitor. We have increased the output power itself. We even add some new security circuits in order to avoid any damage on the speakers. And we reach a limit. We have increased almost everything possible. Of course, there is always a way to do the next step, but with this powerful amplifier, we can drive very complicated speaker with very low impedance. And this is also part of our philosophy, to be able to offer crazy amplifier that match with crazy speakers. We use, compared with the telos 5500, some custom dedicated components that we custom made for us. We use internal gold-plated parts in terms of conductivity, and all of this in the same way to have the perfect amplifier to the perfect system. So as much as we did on the bigger amplifier, in the Telos 2800 we have also changed the design in the same way that we have done on the other one. And also we have increased the transformer and the capacitor block, which bring more dynamics and responsibility. That the amplifier is capable to respond fast and to have a better global reactivity. And it was not a complete redesign. It's an evolution of the 2500. We keep the same architecture, but just increase and try to make the unit better, keeping the same base. So the Telos 690 was also redesigned using the same package and same design as the other product of the line. And the main difference with the previous version was the new power supply section that was added to increase the power. We have changed also the transformer in order to have more capability and more dynamics. So the new Mimesis reference was based on the Mimesis 22H next gen. We try to keep the same philosophy and increase what could be increased. We have designed custom heatsink. We have used and designed custom components with ultra low noise. All of this to reach a perfect and low noise distortion unit. We have also redo completely the power supply, and the audio section is divided separately with different power supply and different module, and everything is combined in order to keep ultra low noise. In the same way that we have redesigned the Mimesis reference, we keep the same philosophy actually for the Mimesis Excellence. We redo completely the unit with new separated power supply, a new core, with new audio board, and we have keep all what we have learned when we designed the Mimesis reference, and we implement it in the analog part of the Mimesis Excellence. And in the same way, trying to keep this philosophy from the high-end and flagship unit to the lower one.
So the evolution that you are just mentioning, it has the main impact it has today on Goldmund in terms of product mix, but also on other brands, I imagine, in the rest of the industry. It is really the use which is being generalized of a streaming solution for all customers. So Goldmund has brought very recently its own streaming solution called ADOS Streamer. I think this is, in terms of sources, the main evolution that I see when we visit the customers worldwide. It's not only Asia, it's Europe, the US. It is that you might have several sources, but now streaming is a must. So to answer your question, this is really what I feel is the main evolution. So the growth that you are mentioning is obvious in the whole of Asia and Southeast Asia, and it's really impressive. Vietnam is a very good example of that growth and of that taste for very high-end products. to compare with other markets which are maybe more mature, like Europe and the United States, I would say the approach is really similar. People that love music, or audiophiles that love music and the material that allows to listen to that music, they have the same approaches, I would say the same taste in terms of material. The main difference between those, maybe between Europe mainly and Asia, is probably the taste for super big, high-end, extravagant products that you will find less on a more mature market, particularly like Europe, than you will find in Asia. I can mention China, I can mention Vietnam or Singapore, etc. So we are talking about a market in which you have many actors, being speaker brands, amplifier or electronic brands, from very different sides of the world, be it American, European, also Asian. And all of these people, all of these brands are fighting for the very best. And a lot of them, and I will not mention any brands which are our competition, but a lot of these brands have achieved excellent products. And you might think that it's going to be difficult to even go to another step and do better. So I feel like the main directions, the main targets that we might still need to achieve today, all of us collectively, it's probably it has to do with integration, probably. It also has to do with the environment. All of these products, you might say they are perfect. Most of them, they are super good, and you reach the pinnacle of what the industry can provide. And maybe their only limitation is the environment in which they are being used. So how do we correct that environment? Maybe with products that allow room correction, very specific, very custom-made solutions for every customer. This is what I see that could improve even more what is already being done. So the typical Goldmund customer, I would say, is still an audiophile. It's still somebody who has been, whose profile has been made 10, 15, 20 years ago, very much coming from the analog world, but changing step by step. And what I see in terms of change of profile is really the acceptation of the solutions that we bring in our product range, which are mostly the active speakers. Today we see a lot of our customers who are accepting, they might have both way of listening, both systems. They might have a system, very classic, passive speakers plus amplification, and they might also have another system which will be the active speakers that we provide. 10 years ago it was much more difficult. Today it's much more accepted, and you might find in the same customer's place two rooms, one which is going still the perfect, of course very nice old way, and another one dedicated to a more simple system, something more simple to use, and which is these active speakers that we provide, not forgetting that we have the amplification technology in-house made, that is our Telos, which is really a guarantee of quality and of high-end product, even though it's active speakers. So at Goldmund we are always very excited to refine the existing. We know that even with the products that we have been manufacturing for many decades, there is still place for an improvement, so always excited to find that next step, next frontier. But what we really believe will enable the growth in the next maybe 10 years, 15 years, it's really the active solutions, active speaker solutions, with even more integration of several other possibilities, like streaming, for example, like room correction, as I mentioned just before. So this is really what we see as the future of our industry. And for that, we really need to be able to talk to a different clientele and to explain to them the benefit of stereo, how much more it brings to your listening experience when you accept to let a beautiful and very high-end pair of speakers enter your environment. So this is what we see for the future, integration, and this will go through the active speaker product of our range. I'm pretty sure of that. But we are still not done with the classic way. We will be manufacturing amplifiers, preamplifiers for many years to go still.
If I can just add a comment, we still want to follow and keep highest quality in our product, even if we would like to offer a simplicity of use, but without forgetting where we come from. As Rodolphe said, we would like to keep each section of the audio system with the highest quality possible. But we would like to help the customer to enjoy and to be able to use different way to play the music, which at the end is the most important, is to enjoy listening to music. We want to let the people to be able to use with ease and simplicity our product. So in terms of integration, we are focusing in help the customer to improve the listening experience that he can have with our product.
Xin chào các bạn khán giả của Audio Lab. Mình là Thanh Tùng Audio. Mình có vừa rồi những cái công nghệ hoặc là những cái sự khác biệt giữa model mới và model cũ thì các bạn bên Goldmund đã nói hết rồi. Thì mình chỉ xin nói thêm là những cái cảm nhận của mình. Và các bạn lưu ý đây là cảm nhận thật nhé. Thì trên thực tế vừa rồi thì mình mới cảm nhận được cái preampli. Thì mình phải nói là các bạn ấy nói về cái preampli thì giữa Mimesis Different ấy và cái Mimesis 22H ấy, thì các bạn Goldmund nói là nó cũng khá là ngắn gọn. Các bạn chỉ nói qua là mạch mới này rồi thì là nguồn thêm này. Nhưng tôi phải nói các bạn là sự thay đổi là cực kỳ lớn lao luôn. Tại vì tôi đã chứng kiến cái chuyện này. Và không phải là một lần và hai lần rồi. Thì các bạn biết ấy, thì tôi nói qua cái này để cho những bạn đã sử dụng Goldmund sẽ thấy, tức là cái Mimesis 22H Next Gen ấy, nó có một cái là thực ra đồ hay thì nó sẽ hơi ăn âm lượng một chút. Thế nhưng mà tức là cái Mimesis 22H thì nó hơi ăn âm lượng quá. Nhưng ngược lại cái Mimesis Different thì cái điều này nó lại làm thật sự là cái tuyến tính của cái volume rất theo đúng ý của mình. Thứ nhất là vặn ở volume nhỏ, tiếng bass vẫn đầy đủ. Và thứ hai nữa là cái lực và cung cấp cho power nó to lớn hẳn lên, và cái hiệu năng của âm thanh nó tốt hơn rất nhiều. Và cái điều này thì mình đã thử đối với Mimesis Different và Mimesis 22H Next Gen là như vậy, là tổng cộng 12 lần và mình kiểm tra đi kiểm tra lại. Thứ hai là đối với lại cái Mimesis Excellent và cái Mimesis 37S thì mình nói luôn là mình cảm thấy khi cầm cái Mimesis Excellent trong tay nó giá trị quá. Bởi lý do nó còn có một cái hệ thống DAC rất là hiện đại và DAC rất hay nhé. Ngoài ra thì là cái lực của cái preampli thì nó cũng giống như là Mimesis Different 22H, tức là lực khuếch đại của nó tốt hơn và các bạn có thể vặn nhỏ vặn lớn và cái âm thanh nó gần như là nó vẫn giữ được cái đầy đủ giải tần, mà nhất là về tiếng bass. Đấy thì đây là những cái trải nghiệm thực tế của mình. Còn trên thực tế thì về phần công suất giữa 5.500 và 8.500 thì mình chưa thử, bởi vì hiện tại là có một số cái hợp đồng thì bọn mình là giao mới luôn, cho nên là cái phần này thì mình khi nào mình có cái trải nghiệm mới thì mình sẽ tiếp tục mình chia sẻ với các bạn. Đấy, xin chào tất cả các bạn. Cảm ơn.